Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to unpack the massive, and I mean massive, evolution of owning your own digital space. We're looking at the ultimate dream for modern creators and brands today, achieving absolute data sovereignty and complete creative freedom. But to get there, we really have to take a hard look at where most communities currently live. I mean, imagine spending years, maybe even a decade, painstakingly building up this loyal audience, creating endless content, and fostering deep connections, only to lose access to the whole shebang because of a single sudden policy update from a platform you don't even own. It literally happens every single day. So, are you building your digital home on rented land? It's absolutely a critical question. Right now, if you're relying entirely on mainstream tech giants, you are fundamentally building your house on rented land. And the glaring problem with rented land? The landlord holds all the keys. Just imagine waking up and finding that 80% of your traffic is just gone. Why? Because the algorithm changed overnight, and you sure didn't consent to it. Privacy policies are constantly shifting, and your entire monetization strategy can be wiped out with a simple terms of service update. Taking back control means moving from a standard website or a rented social page to creating a living, breathing, self-hosted social network. And as you'll see, that requires both serious technical infrastructure and a remarkably deep understanding of human psychology. So here's our roadmap for today's Explainer. First, leaving rented land. Then, our blueprint covering servers and storage. Third, the machine, which is security and scalability. Fourth, the soul, focusing on moderation and growth. And finally, number 5, the all-in-one shortcut. Let's start with Section 1, Blueprint, Servers and Storage, the bones of your digital community. It's vital to understand right off the bat that a social network is not a static blog or some simple e-commerce store. It is highly dynamic and completely unpredictable. When you launch, you're usually starting right here at Step 1, Virtual Private Servers, or VPS. This gives you the root access you need to install custom software like Mastodon or Discourse. But let's say your community goes viral. Suddenly a major influencer links to you and boom, you have to upgrade to Step 2, dedicated servers. This is absolutely essential once your concurrent users cross into the thousands, ensuring you aren't sharing processing power with anybody else. Finally, for massive global scale, you hit Step 3, cloud hosting like AWS or Google Cloud. Here, you're using containerization, things like Docker or Kubernetes, to automatically spin up new servers the literal second a huge traffic spike hits. This keeps your network online when it matters most. Now, what's really interesting about this is the hidden bottleneck in any social network. It's the database. Think about it. Database reads and writes are happening constantly. If one user posts a status update, it has to be written to the system and then immediately read by thousands of other feeds. If someone hits like and has to wait 5 seconds for the screen to update, no way, they're going to close the app. So you need two distinct systems working together. On the left, relational databases like PostgreSQL or MySQL are perfect for structured data. We're talking user profiles, encrypted passwords, core settings. But that is way too slow for live interactions. While on the right, NoSQL and caching, specifically Redis, is your secret engine. Redis stores data entirely in memory, meaning it instantly handles active user sessions, real-time chats, and those infinite feed timelines without having to slowly read from the main hard drive. And speaking of speed, we have to talk about media. The golden hard-learned industry rule here is never, ever store user-uploaded images and videos directly on your web server. Just don't do it. If you do, your users will quickly choke your hard drive space, your server will crash, and your bandwidth bills will absolutely skyrocket. Instead, you use object storage. These are massive, scalable buckets like AWS S3 or Backblaze B2 to hold those raw, heavy media assets securely. But to get those heavy video files to your users quickly, you pair that storage with CDNs, or content delivery networks, like Cloudflare. A CDN physically caches your images globally, so to put that into perspective, if a user in Tokyo opens your app, the image loads from a local server in Tokyo, not your main server in New York. It drastically lowers page load times all over the world. Moving on to Section 2, Machine, Security, and Scalability, the immune system and maintenance. Once your code is live, the real, grueling work begins. Maintaining a platform requires strict operational discipline, and you have to utilize what we call the holy trinity of security. First, SSL/TLS encryption is non-negotiable. Every single bit of data must be scrambled and encrypted. Second, DDoS protection via a web application firewall, or a WAF. A WAF acts like a highly trained bouncer at the door of your club, filtering out the script kiddies and malicious bots before they ever touch your backend infrastructure. Social platforms see a massive volume of automated attacks every single hour. And third, regular software patching. Zero-day exploits are discovered constantly across all operating systems, so you absolutely need an automated pipeline to test and apply security patches instantly to keep your users' data locked down tight. But here's the kicker. Even with all of that security in place, you must assume that things will break. That anxiety you might feel about catastrophic data loss, it's totally real, which is exactly why your operational discipline has to include a grueling backup routine. Every few hours, you need automatic database snapshots, you need daily syncs of all your terabytes of media files, but the golden rule here is ongoing offsite storage. You must store your backups in a completely different physical location or a totally separate cloud provider. If your primary data center catches fire or your account gets wrongfully suspended, you need a way to rebuild. And you have to routinely test restoring from those backups, because honestly, a backup you haven't tested is really just a wish. All right, Section 3, Soul, Moderation and Growth, the Brain and Community. Because ultimately, all that cold, hard tech we just talked about is absolutely meaningless without the human element. The psychology of online communities is just as vital as your server racks. As this quote brilliantly illustrates, an MC platform with great hosting is just an expensive ghost town. People don't visit social networks to marvel at your Redis caching layer, right? They visit to interact with other people. And this introduces a massive hurdle known as the cold start problem. If your network is completely empty when a brand new signup arrives, they are going to bounce immediately and likely never return. Curing this is exhausting in the early days. It requires you, the founder, to be the spark. It demands manual seed content. You and your core team must create high-value posts every single day to make this space look alive and bustling. You also need incredibly smooth onboarding funnels. This means automated welcome messages, clear step-by-step guides on how to actually use the platform, and signposts pointing new users directly toward the most active discussions so they can jump in and engage on day one. And as that community finally starts to grow, you have to establish boundaries. A community without boundaries quickly becomes a toxic spiral, driving away good users and making brands pull their support. It all starts with the code of conduct. Clear, jargon-free rules detailing exactly what is and isn't allowed. Then, the mod team. You absolutely cannot do this alone, so you have to deputize trustworthy community members to act as moderators. Finally, you give them workflows. Clear software tools for handling flagged content, diffusing public arguments, and utilizing really clever techniques like shadow banning. Shadow banning makes persistent spammers think they are successfully posting, but actually hides their content from everyone else. It neutralizes them quietly without causing a huge scene. Which brings us to Section 4, the all-in-one shortcut, skipping the technical headaches. Look, if hearing about database clusters, object storage configuration, and server hardening just gave you a massive headache, you have a very clear choice. On the left, the DIY route means significant time, deep technical expertise, and accumulating some pretty high monthly server costs just to keep the lights on. But on the right, we have a streamlined solution, Web4.Community. This is an innovative, pre-built platform designed specifically to skip every single one of those complex technical hurdles. It handles all the heavy lifting for you, and it's highly affordable, and depending on your scale, at times even completely free. What Web4.Community provides is a modern, highly scalable environment with absolutely zero infrastructure management required on your part. Remember those Redis in-memory clusters and grueling automated backup routines we talked about earlier? Well, this platform handles them seamlessly behind the scenes. It acts as a white-label social network, meaning you get all the benefits of pure data sovereignty and a custom-branded space that looks entirely like your own. It completely eliminates the need to reinvent the technological wheel, allowing you to focus 100% of your energy on the soul of the project, building, curating, and growing your audience. Which leaves us with one final, incredibly important thought to consider today. You know the severe risks of relying on mainstream platforms, and you now know exactly what it takes to build an alternative. Whether you go through the intense, rewarding discipline of self-hosting from scratch, or you skip the headache and leverage an all-in-one platform like Web4.Community. Both paths lead to true ownership. So, will you keep building your digital home on rented land, or is it time to finally take control and build your own sovereign space? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.